quote for you. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. Let's have an introduction about today's chapter. Chapter 11, Transportation in Animals and Plants. Do you know you can hear heartbeat when you keep your hand towards your chest? What keeps heart ticking? Food, oxygen and water. They are essential to survive. Blood transport these through various channels. So let's learn the chapter Transportation in Animals and Plants. It's explained for quick grasping. Chapter is explained as if you are reading a story, and I'm sure you will understand the chapter as it's explained by taking an example of textile factory. So what is the relation between transportation animals and plants and the textile factory? You'll be knowing once you watch the video. Thank you so much for your motivation. Please share, like and subscribe for more videos. Let me introduce today's characters. Here is a Spiky. Here is a Mittu. Hi Mittu. Have you visited textile factory? Do you know how the clothes are transported to the various parts of a state or country? Now here is a Mittu. Hi Spiky. Yes, but I didn't think about it. You're very intelligent. Keep it up, Spiky. Now the Spiky. Don't worry, Mittu. Science which explains transportation, plants and animals the same way. How clothes are transported from textile factory to different parts of a state or country. Let us study in detail about transportation, plants and animals in today's class. In the introduction slide, I told that transportation is explained by taking an example of textile factory, right? Okay, so let's consider a textile factory. You know, in a textile factory where the yarn, fiber, fabric, etc. produced and stored and supplied to people. Now these clothes produced in the textile factory has to be supplied to shops far away from country. How can they do that? These clothes, they are transported to different places through different modes of transportation, like using bus, car, cargo ships, aeroplanes, etc. Same way, there is a transportation that occurs within our body. But here the transport is different, right? There are several organs, several channels which are taking place inside our body. To survive, we breathe air rich in oxygen and it enters into lungs and diffuses into the blood. It's taken to the heart and pumped into the cells. So in this chapter, let's learn how these materials are transported to the various parts of animals and plants and how waste products are excreted. In the chapter Transportation Animals and Plants, the main topics to be covered: blood circulation in humans, excretory system in humans, transportation in plants. Below, you can see few pictures over here. Identify the pictures and please write it in the comment box. Let's learn transportation in animals and plants, chapter 11. In this slide, we are going to learn why the transportation is necessary in plants and animals and the importance of blood. Why is transport of materials necessary in a plant or an animal? Here is answer. To transport nutrients and oxygen to various parts of the body. Second point, transport of material is necessary to remove waste materials such as carbon dioxide. Why is blood needed by all the parts of the body? Here is answers. To transport oxygen from the lungs to all the body cells. Second, to carry carbon dioxide, it's a waste product, back to the lungs so that it can be exhaled easily. to fight against diseases and infections, to transmit heat, thus regulating the body temperature. Circulatory system consists of blood vessels, blood, heart. Blood vessels. The blood is transported through the various channels like arteries, veins, capillaries. Next is the blood. Four components of blood: plasma, RBC, that is red blood cells, WBC, white blood cells, platelets. Heart, four chambers, two atria, right and left, two ventricles, right and left. Blood cells. Let's learn the four components of blood. Plasma, that's a liquid part of blood. RBC, WBC, platelets. Plasma. It's a liquid part of blood. Here you can see it's a straw colored. It's a liquid part of blood. That's called the plasma. It contains 90% water. Next is RBC, that's red blood cells. See the shape of RBC on the image. It's this shaped cells. It contains a protein called hemoglobin. Hem means iron and globin means protein. Iron is an essential element for blood production. About 70% of your body's iron is found in the red blood cells of your blood. That's why it's called hemoglobin. And in muscle cells, it's called myoglobin. It's a red pigment present in blood. Functions of hemoglobin: it gives red color to the blood and it transports oxygen to all parts of the body and ultimately to the cell. If your body lacks hemoglobin, you will get a disease called anemia. Next is WBC. That's a white blood cells, also known as fighting cells, as it fights against the germs. WBC fight against germs like bacteria and foreign materials that may enter into our body. Next is platelets. It helps in the clotting of blood. Here's a question. What will happen if there are no platelets on the blood? Platelets, other name is thrombocytes, which you will learn in higher class. If there are no platelets in the blood, what will happen? The blood will not clot and it will result in unstoppable bleeding. That means leading to severe blood loss and ultimately death of the individual. The straw color fluid. Blood vessels, artery, vein, capillaries, arteries. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Since the blood flow is rapid and at a high pressure, the arteries have thick elastic walls. This question can be asked: why arteries have thick elastic walls? The answer is that as the blood flow is rapid and at a high pressure, the arteries have thick elastic walls. And no walls in arteries. Vein are the vessels which carry carbon dioxide rich blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. The veins have thin walls. There are walls present in veins which allow blood to flow only towards the heart. So here, carry carbon dioxide rich blood under low pressure. So they do not need thick walls. So they have thin walls present. So what's the function of walls over here? Which allow blood to flow only towards the heart. Next is capillaries. On reaching the tissues, the arteries divide. Here, the arteries further divide into extremely thin tubes. They are called the capillaries. And there is an exception, pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Here, pulmonary artery carry carbon dioxide rich blood from heart to the lungs for purification. Pulmonary vein carries purified blood, that's oxygen rich blood, from the lungs to the heart. So this pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein, it's very important to explain the schematic diagram of circulation. Once again, pulmonary artery is an exception. Artery carry oxygen rich blood, but pulmonary artery carry carbon dioxide rich blood from heart to the lungs for purification. Pulmonary vein carries purified blood, that's oxygen rich blood, from the lungs to the heart. Normally the veins carry carbon dioxide rich blood, but there is an exception in the pulmonary vein. Hope it's very clear. Next, let me explain about the schematic diagram of circulation. Here is the schematic diagram of circulation. Oxygen rich blood from the heart goes to the body parts through arteries. That's the first step. Oxygen rich blood from the heart goes to the body through the arteries. Now, the carbon dioxide rich blood from the body parts goes back to the heart through the vein. On reaching the tissues, the arteries divide further into extremely thin tubes called, here this is a capillaries. Once again, oxygen rich blood from the heart goes to the body parts through arteries. On reaching the tissues, they divide further into extremely thin tubes, that's called capillaries. Carbon dioxide rich blood from the body parts goes back to the heart through the vein. Pulmonary artery carries carbon dioxide rich blood from heart to the lungs for purification. Pulmonary vein carries the purified blood, that is oxygen rich blood, from the lungs to the heart. That's why here, from lungs to the heart. Here, from heart to the lungs. Here it's for purification, and here is a purified blood. That's about the schematic diagram of circulation. Here is a Mittu and Spiky. Spiky, hi Mittu. Now tell me the function of circulatory system. Hi Spiky, here is answer. The circulatory system pumps blood through the body using arteries, veins and capillaries. They work together to transport blood around the body and exchange gases and nutrients. Arteries are made of thick, smooth walls and they transport blood away from the heart. That's why it's called arteries. A stands for away from the heart. Next is veins. Veins has thin walls with smooth muscle and walls. They carry blood to the heart. Already it's explained in the previous slide why the vein has thin walls and why they have the walls. Capillaries are 1 cell thick, that means they allow the molecule to diffuse across the capillary walls easily with no muscle, and they connect the arteries to the veins and exchange gases and nutrients. So both Mittu and Spiky were so happy that they understood the schematic diagram of circulation as well as arteries, veins and capillaries, the blood vessels.